Welcome, Scorpios. Thank you for tuning into your August reading. How are you doing? I really miss you guys. So, I am ready for a reading. Let's see, because we just moved into August, so I'm sorry, I'm a little bit on the later side with your reading. And we just had that Leo new moon in your 10th house. Well, for my Scorpio risings, obviously. And so I am sensing, and this is not only because of this new moon, but I was sensing in general for you guys, like you guys might actually have had a promotion recently or something to do with like adding a new source of income or wanting to start a different side of the branch or the career that you're already in. Maybe you want to add something to it, you want to change some things around, you would like the things to flow better, or you took on an extra sense of responsibility or something like that, and you're like, no, it's fine, I can totally combine this with this what's going on at home, and this what I got going on the side, this in my friend group. This is like you've been juggling multiple things, and I'm sensing that you continue kind of sort of talking yourself into it, like, okay, I am tired, but I'm just gonna go, or I'm just gonna get this over with. And there's always something. I feel like you guys, this month you will be experiencing that if nothing changes, there's kind of always something that just needs your attention for just that day. But if it's on, a weekly or a daily basis, then yeah, there is kind of always something occupying either your headspace, your physical body that needs to be in places. And I'm sensing that your first 2 weeks of August, you still will be able to like sort of juggle that out. And I'm sensing that, after that full moon is coming in Aquarius, I'm sensing that there is a shift happening where you're like, okay, no, something needs to give, like something needs to go. And maybe something is actually taken out of it. Maybe something more in like your personal area where maybe something removes itself or it's way past its expiration date. And so it just changes. But I'm sensing that the moment that actually changes and you maybe don't have to show up in that way anymore, or someone else actually takes it over or whatever, it could be different for multiple Scorpio, so I'm just keeping it a little bit general. But then you're like, whoa, I actually have been doing the most, like I kind of been doing too much. I'm not the first to say I am doing the most, but maybe it is better this way, even though first instinct is like, no, 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 where are you going? I'm keeping this. Like, nothing needs to change. Everything can just stay the same, fixed energy. But if it wants to leave, let it leave. Okay? Like, especially if it wants to leave, just let it leave, because let it make space for something that's way more serving, for something way more in alignment, for something that just simply creates some space for some rest and some inner peace. Okay, because I've been sensing this with you guys for the last year already, like, you always got a lot to do, and that's okay. It's totally fine to live like a full life, but it shouldn't live you. You should be living your life, not the life living you. So that's something that I really wanted to share with you guys. And I feel like by the time, by the end of August, you are actually sort of easing into some changes that will take place in August, and you are starting to sort of get more inspired by that. You're like, you know what, this actually feels good. Maybe I should also do this differently. Maybe I shouldn't try to do this myself. Maybe I should actually make it easier on me and the close people around me, and actually get somebody to do that, and you're starting to see that actually is a positive thing, and it actually creates more space for quality time, and that you are actually there, and that you feel good there, not tired, or not feel like you kind of don't want to be there, not because you don't like the person, but because you're like, you just, it's too much. It's just too much going on. You're there because you feel like you should be, instead of you want to be there. So that's something that I'm sensing. It will change, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing, Scorpio. It's a good thing. Okay, you have two cards. You say, lift in the veil, questioning everything. We just talked about, right? Everything goes on their new loop. It's like Can we make some more changes around here? Is this still normal? Is this fitting? Is this actually what I want? Because when you get time to think, you know, you might actually start questioning the things. It says anything unaligned must go, Scorpio. Not because, you know, everything just, you must just leave it live and never, you know, and, you know, just be empty, an empty space. No, it's like, no, we make a space for anything that's actually truly in alignment. So first, before something comes in, we throw something out, we release something, we make space for it, right? If we have new clothes coming in and it needs to fit in, you know, some clothes, you know, might need to make some space for room for the new, the thing that fits you, the thing that is new, the thing that you actually are going to wear instead of, you know, being hanging there for 4 or 5 years already. So questioning everything, lifting the veil, and anything on a line must go. And also karmic relationship comes up for you guys. I'm sensing like it also has to do with friendships, okay? It doesn't only have to be like, you know, family or romantic connections. Orion energy, polarity, soul's growth, and conflict. Okay, so you might actually through having conflicts for things just not working, not, you know, coming together. Like for example, two magnets of the same side, you know, you can't pull them together. And that's a little bit what I feel like you're putting in so much time and energy to make something fit that was never meant to fit. But just because you're like, no, but it's easier for me to just try a little bit harder right now, right here, instead of letting it go and then questioning this whole space here and then finding something else and pieces to fit because it seems like more work, you know? A lot of times that is the thing with marriages and things like that, for example. It's like it's the whole divorce thing and everything and going and starting all over seems like so much more work than just trying a little bit harder to make this work. When you know it's not in alignment any longer or anymore or it never was, you know, or with a part of you that now is coming forward. So questioning things is not bad unless you start to run with it, you know, and either judge yourself or other people for it. It's like, no, it's like there's a free space. It doesn't have to come from a place of judgment. It can just be, hey, you know, going, for example, at work, sometimes you have like this conversation. One sec, because it's just moving weirdly. Okay, that's better. It's like you have like these conversation where you're like, oh, you've been working here now for 3 months. How do you like it? You know, do you want to take on more responsibility, or do you feel like you're growing here? Do you feel, you know, those type of conversations? Well, just having that with multiple things and multiple areas, and maybe even multiple people in your life, and just really looking at it from a place of, you know, free from judgment, but just like does it still make sense? Does it still flow? Do I actually still like this? You know, maybe you already wanted to change that, but you kind of been just going on and on. Maybe something was way better fit, and it's just. But maybe even not. Maybe you figure out you actually like it way more than you expected it. But that's also good. But just questioning it, looking at it, going over it, making decisions from that space, and take your time because you have some time, okay? You're not in a rush. Because if you would think that you have to change it instantly, you might actually make hasty decisions. Look at that. You have the King of Cups, the High Priestess, and then you have the Devil card. So you already know. You have already, you know, you have the insight, you have the clarity, you have kind of, you know, you already know. And then it's like, yeah, but I just choose to like not go with that answer. A little bit, you know, going against what you know. With the King of Wands and the Three of Pentacles, yeah. Okay, so for some of you, this is not for all, but for some of you, you really are telling yourself that something is what it isn't. And you know this, and it's something that you kind of, at one point it just comes to a point where it doesn't give you the same level of satisfaction. Like the pretending part just, you know, doesn't do it for you anymore. And you just want to feel free. I'm sensing like you just want to feel free of you know, when you know something, when you intuitively can feel something so deeply, and it's like it's just not right anymore. And then you have a good day and it all flows and then it's fine. But then the moment it starts to, you know, appear that it's not in alignment at all, and it just appeared that way, and you were able to, like, you know, shut your brain out and, you know, tell yourself this or tell yourself that, and it actually felt good again for like a week maybe. And then, you know, a week later it's like, oof, we're out of alignment all over again. It's not working at all. You know, this could even be with something you use for work. Like, for example, maybe you have like a computer and it's quite old and needs kind of updated, so it needs like investments and stuff like that. But then you also need to be without a computer for 2 weeks because some guy or some girl needs to, like, you know, put time and energy in it to like fix it for you. And you're like, I just don't want to go through that because then I have to do this and that for like 2 weeks long, and it just seems like this is much easier. I'll fix it again. But it's like, you know that if you just go through it, like, you can finally let it go. Oh no. Oh no, we're not going to do that. Okay, but justice is here, so that's good, because you're ready to face the music. Yeah, the way they say that, face the music. But look who is here. I have a Queen of Cups. This is you. Much better. So everything is fine. The Queen of Wands. Yeah. You don't be afraid to own your own road. All right. It's like, if you've been struggling to like get to where you're at right now, then embrace all parts of your journey. You know, embrace all parts of your journey, and don't be afraid to show and share maybe the mistakes that you made, but not to like put yourself down for them or whatever. It's just like, you know, if I chose this and it wasn't the right decision, but if I never made that decision, I will never get to this point, and that point really, really got me so far on this one. And so just take it in, right? Even if you, for example, are getting out of a situation, maybe you're already going through a phase of separation and you had like these dreams and goals with this person and it just didn't work out, and maybe there are kids involved and things like that, and it's just a lot. But that doesn't mean that you were never meant to meet that person, you were never meant to be and spend time with that person. You just sometimes grow apart by continuing to grow on an individual level. And it's beautiful when you're both on an individual level, keep continuing to transform and grow and actually stay in alignment with one another. And sometimes one or the other just grows away, you know, from the road that you walk on together. But it's much more painful to stay on that road that you know is just keeping and stunting your growth and your evolution. And at one point you start resenting yourself and the other person for it, and that's a very painful place to be in. So I'm sensing there's a lot of healing, and there's a lot of like something you might have actually told yourself lies about, like, yeah, but you know, I don't need that much. You know, I know that person doesn't do this, or I know this job doesn't offer me that, but I don't really even need that. I think, you know, I'm just okay with me. It's fine. It flows. It's good because this is in it, and that brings, you know, a lot of joy and a lot of satisfaction. And so I will just go with the flow. But you have to say somewhere, anywhere, you know, Scorpio says, oh, stop, to here and no further. And you can throw your tantrum and you could say this or you can say that, but I am not going into any more depth with you in this way because I am going against my nature. You know, that's the thing. It's like you decide when you go to the deep. And the moment where someone is starting to affect your sense of direction when it comes to your emotional well-being and what you feel and what moment and all of it, and it has effect on your natural flow of your emotional well-being, or just your emotional being and state, because you go with the flow of you. But when someone starts to dictate that and it makes it unnatural to you, something in you changes, Scorpio. I hope it makes sense, because I see it as a vision and I try to put it into words. So sometimes this doesn't always work. But I hope it makes sense. I hope it rings true to even if it's just one or two of you. We're like, yes, I see that. And that is exactly why it doesn't feel right. It's maybe not even something on the outside where you can like really put your finger on. It's like it's that. It's not because they snore like this. It's nothing like that. Sometimes it's just the influence of your emotional state that feels unnatural because you go with your own flow. That's just a natural thing to Scorpios. I told you, you are starting to own a part of you, and it just brings you so much more clarity and just happiness overall. The Nine of Cups, you feel just so much better when you start to stop tap dancing around something that's just not fine and it's not making you happy. Like, tell yourself that everything is fine. Everything is not fine. It will be. Oh yes, it will be more than fine. It will be great. It's gonna be perfect. But there needs to be some changes and some adapting. And there it comes from. But it's okay, because sometimes things just need to become uncomfortable in order to say, oh, hell no. I am not, this is not me. Hello, good morning, have you met me? I am that Scorpio, just so you know. You know, but all jokes aside, Scorpio, I see this change and you will naturally pick up on it. And there's enough space for that when it comes to like the universal energies for you. You will just feel that space being created, and so you will work with that. And what I'm saying is that yes, there might be some triggers, there might be some things popping up, but it will only serve you down the line. And just continue to not brush stuff under the carpet and just call them out by their name and whatever it makes you feel and whatever it does. And even, sorry Scorpios, the camera shut down, but I said, and even if you want to journal about it, just get it all out, and just dive a little bit deeper into that so you can get to more of like the core things. All right, so embrace your uniqueness, once again, is what I'm hearing very strongly. I'm going to pick up a oracle message for you. Here we go. The Divine Director. Intervention and purpose. Intervention and purpose. Beautiful. Divine intervention is occurring. It sure is. Know that you are being guided, and happiness is your purpose. Happiness is your purpose. All right? It is important to be happy. And the thing is, Scorpio, in the end of the day, and it's like you guys don't even need that much to actually be really happy. Just sometimes you get caught up in that, and you might think that, but you guys don't. You just need some essential ingredients. If that is good and that is aligned, and you feel that sense of freedom in those areas, you don't even need that much to just feel really like good or content in general. Of course, you have your emotional up and downs, but that's part of being a Scorpio. You go with that. That tells you a lot, and it takes you to the depth, and it brings you right back up, and you're like, hello, I'm back. And it's good, but overall, understand that just a couple essential things that sometimes you do decide to compromise on. That is uncompromisable if in the long term you just want to sleep in peace, okay? You just want to have like a good rest and be able to just say, I'm good, I'm content, I'm happy, and I'm excited for whatever, I'm building, in my future, and whatever is coming towards me, whatever I'm manifesting. Because it could be filled up with so many beautiful, shiny things, Scorpio. But if you're missing out on those essential things that you just simply need to feel that sense of security, to feel that sense of freedom, to just be you, down the line, those things don't mean anything. And you got to figure out exactly what those ingredients are. I mean, overall, there's some things, but I want you guys to sort of dive a little bit deeper into that this month if you have the space and time for it. Of course, but because it will be good. And if you look in the mirror in an honest way and think, that's actually what I do need, then, like for example, for Cancerians, fellow water signs, there is this need for harmonious energy. Doesn't mean that we continue to just rub things, brush things under the rug either. It's just like, if there's a problem, we can just talk about it. We don't need to like scream and make like this whole big thing and this blow up, because that kind of just acts with the Cancerian well-being energy, because it just disturbs the soul. But sometimes, when it comes to Scorpios, they just like this whole like wah, and they just let it out and they talk about it, and it all settles down, and then it kind of just all eases out. And it's like, not for everyone. I'm just saying, like, understand the things you need and how to prevent the things that you really, really, really do not need. Okay? And also on this, just concentrate on what are you not supposed to or willing to sacrifice on moving forward. Not moving backward, but moving forward. And if you got that right, that could mean like in a relationship, when it comes to friendships, when it comes to work and partnerships, and overall, certain things you're no longer willing to sacrifice upon. And I think that your rest and peace, and recharging moments should definitely be on that list. Do not sacrifice on that too much. All right, I'm gonna stop rambling now. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for being here. I really love and appreciate you guys. I will be back soon, and have a beautiful month of August. You got this. Good things are on the way. Okay? They're already here, actually. Just look a little deeper. Okay.